Hello and welcome to North Bay in Canada for this, the third event in the IFSA Strongman Super Series World Championship. As before, we've brought together the top 6 strength athletes in the world and put them against 6 wildcard athletes and local strongman hero alike. We've had 2 events so far this year, one in Hawaii, then one in Holland, and now here in beautiful Ontario, the athletes are again gunning for those vital points towards winning the title of World Champion 2003. But with 8 back-breaking events to go and 2 competitions later in the year, gaining this title isn't so much about winning as pure survival.
Surviving, he's doing rather well. Pudzianowski's won 2 out of 2. Savickas, well, he's doing a lot better than he's done before in the Super Series, sitting in second, Magnus in third. But how about Hugo Girard? Well, he's the world champion from last year, and it's home territory for him. He missed the Holland event due to illness. He'll want to go one better here. Other Canadians involved in this, Paulin, he's from Quebec, very good athlete. He's known as the Myth. Magnus, again, a solid athlete, 3 times at the Olympic Games. Zydrunas, a Lithuanian powerlifter, second at the World's Strongest Man last year. Magnus Samuelsson of Sweden, he's won the Super Series before, the first year it came out in 2001. Anders Johansson, the man who lives in the shadow of the great Swede, it's time he came out. Jeff Dolan of Canada, he's the 3rd Canadian, former javelin thrower from Saskatchewan. Svend Karlsen of Norway, former World's Strongest Man, finished 2nd in the Super Series, never won the World Championship. Hugo Girard of Canada, he is the current world champion for IFSA, and he'll be looking to continue winning on home soil. Jarno Hams of the Netherlands got here via a good result in Holland. Then Mariusz Pudzianowski of Poland, of course, 2 wins out of 2. Ryan Green of Canada, what a bear. He's, did I say 3 Canadians? There's 4. Ryan Green, yet another wild card and a powerlifter. Yaroslav Dymek of Poland, he's the 2nd pole. He's also in the top 6 in the world. On to the first event, it's the log lift. Now the world record holder Svend Karlsen is here, 185 kilos. He did that in the Super Series of 2002, and that was done in Stockholm. We kicked the competition off with 137.5 kilos, and Anders Johansson of Sweden was up first and first to fail. All of the guys made it to 150 then, except Anders. Paulin, 150 too far for him. And Jeff Dolan, his first step up on the international stage, and 150 again, too much for him. 2 Canadians out, disappointing for the home crowd. Make that Canadian number 3. Ryan Green over the back of the head. He didn't have time to pick the log up and finish it off in the 60 seconds that was allowed. Magnus Samuelsson, he did do 150, but then went out at 160. Those giant long arms of his, he is 2 meters tall and makes it all the more difficult. Jarno Hams, he did 160 in the Netherlands on a harder log, but looks like injury is starting to take its toll for him. Garrick Dymek, again, went out at 160. And I think the surprise of the day was Mariusz Pudzianowski. Just seemed to have all kinds of trouble in the log lift. 160, a step too far for him as well. So the log went up. 170 kilograms on the bar. And this first discipline has Magnus, Zydrunas, Savickas, Svend Karlsen and Hugo Girard left in it. Those same old names, always at the top over the last season. Can Magnus make it, the great Olympic lifter? Yes, he's done it. First man to go clear at 170. Good lifting there. 3 times at the Olympic Games, as I said, as a weightlifter. Walking away, absolutely ecstatic there. That's a big lift for Magnus. I think that may well equal his personal best now. Savickas, this is a man who's bench press up near 300 kilos. So he's got incredible tricep power. Question is, can he get it to his chest? Nearly 160 kilos in body weight himself. No, can't quite get it. I think if he could get it to his shoulders, he'll press it. Savickas, second at World's Strongest Man last year. He's doing very well in this Super Series, sitting on 17 points at the moment after Holland's second equal with Magnus, but no, not in this event. The world record holder, Svend Karlsen, to the log. 185 kilos in Stockholm last year. Watch how explosive he is in the legs. No! Goodness me, that's a big mistake, and I tell you what, Karlsen skipped 165 kilos, went straight from 160, and I'm telling you, the gamble has not paid off. That's a big mistake for Karlsen. Well, here's a man who thinks the world record should be his. He took away Svend Karlsen's world record in a Pollens lift. He did that in Hawaii in the first Super Series of 2003. 175 kilos he did there. But this log lift is the one he really wants. This, the greatest of all overhead events, in my opinion. 170 kilos goes up, no problem. Now, here's the inside story, folks. He did 3 at 170 in training 1 week ago. 3 at 170. Surely that's got to equate to 180. Maybe 185. Can he get close to that world record? Well, Magnus gets the first pop of it. Only 2 of them left. It's to his shoulders. Can he use those huge legs? No, not today. Not today. Magnus retires. 175 kilos then. Good for him. And that brings out Hugo Girard, the final lifter. 180 kilos. Or will he go heavier?
Hugo, successful at 175. What are you going to go for now?
Now I'm going for the world record, you know. Ray missed 180 or 185. Now there's no point going any lower than the world record is. If I got a shot, it's now. It's my home country. People are here supporting me. That'd be a cherry on the sundae, winning that record.
You're going for 187.5 then. You're going to be the outright record holder.
That's it. I'm going for it now.
You dare.
Well, in fact, it's in pounds and it's equal to 186 kilos. He is raising it by 1 kilo. Well, this is incredible. This is for the world record, and it's a big gamble, it's got to be said. He's going straight to 186 kilos. Very brave move. In front of his home crowd. 7,000 people cheering him on. The man from Quebec, never been beaten on home soil. Hugo Girard of Canada for the world record. Very slow to his chest. Can he press it? Has he got anything left? I think he's done it. He's locked it. Jamie Reeves gives him the white flag. He's done it. Hugo Girard, 186 kilos. It's a new world record. Put that in the history books. This is a day to be remembered. Goodness me, the hair's standing up on the back of my neck. So amazing. Girard did what he said. It's finally come. The day of reckoning, a new world record.
You said you were going to do it on home turf. You've said this all year. Well done. Congratulations. How's it feel?
I feel great, you know. Last year, I felt I had a good shot at it at the World. Decided not to go for it. Then later on, Svend stole what was mine. Now I took it back from him. And there's more to come.
Congratulations, Hugo.
Thanks. Yes, #1.
Well, this is a man who gave up his career in the police force to go professionally on the strongman career. Everyone thought in Malaysia he could have made the world record in log, but he held back. He didn't need to do it. He'd already won that event. But finally, he gets his chance and he takes it. I'm so pleased for Hugo, and on home soil as well. What a treat for the home fans. Well, that takes us on to the next event, and that's the Farmer's Walk. Now, let me just tell you how heavy this is, because even I can't believe it. 40 meters the course, 20 meters up, 20 meters back. The cylinders are going to be 175 kilos in each hand. And look at this. The first two warriors out, Svend Karlsen against Magnus Samuelsson. And Samuelsson has had a bicep injury. He's torn both of them off, and he decided to stop at the 33-meter mark. Jarno Hams, well, injury seems to be plaguing him. Nothing like he was in the Netherlands. He'd only got it just over 5 meters. Mariusz ran out of time, 2 meters short from the line. 75 seconds then on the clock. And we join the action again with Zydrunas Savickas, the giant Lithuanian, up against Girard. Diminutive in stature compared to the giant Lithuanian, but he's a pocket rocket, Girard. Don't write him off. This isn't about size, it's about pure strength. Well, look at Dimick, it's tortoise and the hare stuff here. He's managed to nip himself into the lead. Pudzianowski helping him with chalk. The two of these guys are such good friends back at home in Poland, and I think that's probably what's brought Pudzianowski up to the very top of Strongman. He's won the first 2 Grand Prix, and you know, I think a lot of that's down to having Girard as his training partner, in some ways his mentor as well. Dimick, extremely intelligent man, helps plan the training, spurs Mariusz along. Well, look at this! Here he comes. Oh, he's just short of the line. Just short. Can he get it over in a second attempt? He hasn't got many more attempts of picking that up. 1:04. Just does it within the 1 minute and 15. And I think Girard Dimick's going to run out of time here. Has he done it? He's almost crossed the line. Another 3 inches. Come on, Girard. You can make it. It's an audible groan from 7,000 fans and one commentator. He's about 2 inches short of the line when the 75 seconds went there, and that's very gutting for him. Next out then, Hugo Girard of Canada. Up against Raymond Bergmanis of Latvia. There we go. Bergmanis, as ever, not using a belt. Hugo Girard, taken the first event. He's got a world record already under his belt. What can he do here? Well, he's the first man to make it round the cone without having to put them down. That takes incredible strength turning round. It really does. In a straight line, it's so much easier. And I think he's going to cross the line in one go. Hugo Girard, this guy is on fire. 27.57 seconds. Mariusz Pudzianowski, well, he's won the first 2 Super Series Grand Prix, but Hugo Girard on home soil is saying to Mariusz, don't you come to my hometown and expect a victory. Not without a big fight, anyway. Here's the camaraderie within Strongman. Hugo genuinely wanting Raymond to finish it off. It's really like no other sport in the world. These guys really always up against the thought of injury and extreme pain, and that really does bond you. Backstage in the tents, the guys warm up together, they pass on secrets. It's such an extreme, brutal sport that these guys really are very, very close. Hugo Girard then takes the maximum 12 points for that, and one of just 3 men to finish the whole discipline. North Bay in Canada, it's the site of the 3rd Grand Prix in the IFSA Super Series World Championship 2003, and Hugo Girard, 2 disciplines down, 2 victories to his name. And he really is on fire. He's never been beaten on home soil, and it certainly doesn't look like he's going to today. Deadlift hold the next event, 320 kilos. Who can hang on the longest? Very simple, very brutal. Well, the first 2 guys out. Magnus Samuelsson went head-to-head with Raymond Bergmanis. Bergmanis took it over the minute mark. Absolutely in the zone when it came to pain. Svend Karlsen was hurting, and hurting bad. He went down at 45, but Pudzianowski set the target. 1 minute, 37 seconds. And in these atrocious conditions, the rain suddenly coming from nowhere. That's part of the fun of being right on the bay here in North Bay. Clouds just come zooming in over the water and the heavens open up. Luckily, this is a static event, shouldn't affect them too much. If anything, it'll cool them down. Jarek Dymek on the left, Anders Johansson on the right. The Swede, Johansson. In fact, both of these men living in the shadow, really, of better athletes at the present date, or athletes in better form anyway. Dymek behind Pudzianowski, Johansson behind Samuelsson. Be great to see Anders Johansson do something special here. Fantastic deadlifter. Has a world record from deadlifting at the knees. 440 odd kilos. Jarek Dymek, though, he's not a man to go down easily. Look at this, you can see the pain in his face. He really is a crazy man, though, Dymek. He'd rather tear something or break something than go down. He's such a brutal competitor. First to go, 1 minute 2, Dymek. Anders Johansson hanging on here, and if you want to ever check the results out again, go to www.super-series.com. You can get all of the results and roundups and extra photos taken by the official photographer. But look at this, I think he's gonna do it, you know. That time set by Pudzianowski could be beaten here. Pudzianowski, 1 minute 37. Johansson coming up to that now. Jamie Reeves, everyone in fact shouting him on, wanting him to win. Passing 130, up past 137. The time, in fact, 140.14 seconds. And Anders Johansson, he is somewhere else right now. He's not on planet Earth, he's in planet pain. Talk about mind over matter. It's not just about being a big, strong man. You really need the mental aptitude to make it to the top in strongman these days. Hugo Girard on the right, wearing the sunglasses. Zydrunas Savickas on the left. Now Girard, there'll be a reason he's wearing those sunglasses. It's not just to look good. It's all about poker face. Girard doesn't want to show the pain in his face. He wants Savickas to think this is easy. Savickas wearing socks, which is a rather bizarre sight in a rainy, damp car park in the middle of Canada. The tongue biting is beginning for Savickas. The endorphins are pumping out of his brain. The chemical that helps you deal with pain. It's from the same family as morphine, so it dopes you out, and it's a rather bizarre, unless you've done this event, you can never appreciate the strange high that pain can give you. And that's exactly what Savickas is going through right now. You see the eyes there. He doesn't know quite where he is. He just knows he's got to hang on. And look at Girard. Girard is finally showing the strain in his face. Savickas, 1 minute 18. Well, that's good enough for fourth place. Girard, however, he's going for Johansson's time, a 1 minute 40. He's hanging on. He's passing 130. He's passing Pudzianowski, that's for sure. He's going to pass Johansson as well at this rate. He doesn't need to go very much further. Oh, he's enjoying this. Yeah, he really is enjoying this. He's done it too much, in fact. He's beaten Johansson's time by 11 seconds. He didn't need to go that far. But when you're that good, hey, why not? 3 wins out of 3 here in Ontario. And of course, the maximum 12 points. That'll take him up to 36 after 3 events. Jarno Ham's down the bottom there. He's dropped out due to injury that last event. The deadlift hold has really knocked him for 6. And Pudzianowski, he finished 3rd there. So his chances of winning this are slowly starting to diminish. Well, on we move to the Atlas stones, and Magnus Samuelsson, the world record holder in this event, popped up 4 stones, and that's all he could manage. And in this driving rain, you had to start to think no one will ever do all 5, especially when the former world record holder Svend Karlsen couldn't do it either. 170 kilo stone managed to go up. The 5th stone, 180 kilos. That's 400 pounds in old money. Jarek Dimmick popped up the 4th stone, but couldn't go any further either. So Samuelsson's time at 30.86 looking pretty good. Remus Bergmanis, very hit and miss in the stones. 3 stones in 43 seconds is all he could do. And, well, Savickas, he did a little better in time-wise, but could only get 3 up. So bring on the Dominator, the man from just outside Warsaw in Poland. World's strongest man from Malaysia. He wants the title of Super Series World Champion. He needs a good finish here in Canada. Then we go on to Finland, and finally, of course, the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic for the Grand Prix final of the Super Series. Look at this, 4 going up easily. Can Pudzianowski be the first man to do all 5? Perhaps the rain stopping, the stones are drying a little bit. He's getting more purchase from his hands. Now the whistle's gone. He's had enough. 26.05 certainly puts him into the lead. Then came Anders Johansson, and Johansson took a Mike Tyson punch from stone number 1, 120 kilos, smashing down on his nose. And poor Anders took a rather nasty cut, and that big hit really sent him for 6. He couldn't manage even the 1st stone.
Mr. Johansson, it's up and down. It's like a roller coaster for you today. You do well in one event, badly in the other. I've never seen you do that in the stones before. What happened?
Yeah, I never fail in stones, but I never try lifting stones that high. It was maybe like 190, and I'm barely just over 180, so.
What happened to your nose there?
I got the stone in my face a lot of times trying to get it up on the platform.
Well, it's a good look. Congratulations anyway.
Thank you.
Not so sure about a good look, but it's certainly a look he'll be sporting for the next week or 2. It's a very nasty cut in his nose. 7,000 fans willing on the 155-kilogram giant figure of Hugo Girard, the Super Series world champion from last year. Has not been beaten on home soil, and he's not about to either. And I don't think he'll lose this event. The way he's going, he's going to be close to Pudzianowski. He may well win it if he can get this 5th stone up. And Hugo Girard, anything is possible at the moment. Well, he's called it a day, and 28 seconds, that's good enough for 2nd place in the stones. The first event, or rather discipline, that he's lost, but still good enough to keep him on top of the leaderboard. Pudzianowski, is this the start of a comeback? Well, the truck pull to come. Stay tuned. IFSA Super Series Grand Prix number 3 of 2003, and Hugo Girard at the top of the tables here in Canada on 47 points. Pudzianowski 10 points behind, but the truck pull is the kind of event Pudzianowski can pull back in. It's got a harness and rope on it as well, and he'll be the last man to go, so he knows what time he's chasing. Well, let's take a look at what some of the guys did early on. Anders Johansson, 28 meters for him on this 30-meter course. Next up was Bergmanis. Again, a 28-meter distance. There's a real rise at the end of this course. This 10-ton truck hits a very slight incline. Finally, Zydrunas Savickas, the first man to finish. He does 38 seconds, and that sets the time for the others. Jarek Dimick, not such a heavy man, and that was definitely against him in this. 44 seconds for him, though. He finishes as well. Svend Karlsen, the kind of guy who would normally win an event like this. 53 seconds. His technique is all over the place. He's virtually standing up, and the Viking suffering some injuries. So rejoining the action with Magnus Samuelsson from Sweden. 2 meters tall, 150 kilos in body weight. Can you get any bigger or stronger and perfectly made to truck pull than this guy? He's got on those climbing boots that all of the guys use now. No stone unturned with these guys. All of the tricks are pulled out. It gives you the best friction, the best grip on the ground. He's chasing that time as Savickas. 38 seconds to beat, and he's gonna do that, that's for sure. Just over 30 seconds, 33.06. Great result for him, and well, he had bicep problems early in the farmer's walk. You'd have thought that would have affected him there.
Magnus, I spoke to you about a minute ago and you said you were tired and out of shape. What's that all about?
I always said I need to train some fitness, so I did.
Well, that's great. They're shouting for Hugo now. Do you think that Hugo can beat that?
Yeah, I missed the rope in the end. I think I lost a few seconds there, but he won't beat me by much, I don't think. It's going to be a close call.
Hugo is a police officer from...
Well, it's not easy to do it much faster than that, not without turning the engine on and driving it anyway. But Hugo Girard, again, well built for truck pulling, very heavy. Look at the size of his knees and elbows. Everything about this man is huge. Just a giant, giant man, an absolute bear. And here we go, arm over arm. This is some real speed he's getting into this. I think he could beat Samuelsson here. He's certainly set off faster, but has he got the fitness? Well, that face is one of anguish, the pain kicking in now, and he's really slowing, coming up that little incline at the end. Can he finish it off? It's going to be close, that's for sure. Let's look at the clock. 33.80 seconds, so he's been beaten by Samuelsson by 0.74 of a second.
His veins are bigger than my arms.
You hear the MC on site shouting, his veins are bigger than my arms. He really is in incredible condition. Mariusz Pudzianowski. His arms are so strong as well. He can really make use of this rope. Nowhere near as heavy as Girard and Samuelsson. Only about 125 kilos, which in pounds is somewhere around the 280 mark to 290. But look at this, athleticism in abundance. You should see him doing kicks. Used to be a boxer as well, former amateur boxing champion at heavyweight in Poland. Really is outstanding at anything he turns his hand to. And here we go, it's going to be close. It's going to be 32-something, 32.45. The comeback is on. Pudzianowski, he's looking to beat Girard for the first time in Canada.
Mariusz, well done. 32 seconds, you're the winner. Was that a good pull?
Yes, I'm very happy. 32 seconds is a very good time for me.
And how about the next events? Are you looking forward to the next events?
I don't know. Maybe for me, good event next. Watching.
Well, he really is in million-dollar shape, isn't he? Outrageously lean. A great, great picture for all strongmen. You don't need to just be big and bulky. You can be lean and mean as well, and Pudzianowski proves that even in the heavy events like truck pull. Well, the wheelbarrow, Yarnaham should be out first, but he's, of course, withdrawn with injury, so that means Ryan Green, the big grizzly bear from Canada, he comes out. Now, this event, it's a bit of a confusing one. Let me try and explain it to you. Basically, it's a wheelbarrow that they carry for 6 meters. They're allowed to pick it up once. And the starting weight is 959 kilos. Well, at 959 kilos, we saw some of the guys fall out, including Pudzianowski. And I tell you what, that's really going to hurt him on points because Girard is through to the next weight, which is 1,009 kilos. Now, try and convert that one. I'm guessing it's around 2,300 pounds or 2,250, somewhere around that, to give you an idea. Of course, where they're picking it up at the pivot point won't be that kind of weight. It'll be somewhere probably around the 350 kilo mark at the moment. So when you've got 350 kilos, it's very hard to walk forward as the weight gets taken by each individual leg. And of course the grip as well. So Pudzianowski's out, Magnus is out, Dolan and Ryan Green out as well. So we've lost two of the Canadians. Jason Paulin, he looked very good in the first round. What can Anders Johansson manage? He's going to go all the way to that line. Can he make it? Well, he slid it over. He's not been given it, quite rightly so, because that was pushed over rather than picked and carried, and those are the rules. 5 meters 45 is what he's given. Referee Jamie Reeves, very strict there. Strict but fair, quite right too. Svend Karlsen of Norway, he did make it over the line. This is the kind of event the Viking is always good at. Anything athletic, you can count him in on. Jason the Myth Paulin. The reason they call him the Myth, well, the myth is he walked 100 miles to his first competition. He's from right up in the north of Quebec, didn't have a car, but that didn't stop him. So let that inspire you the next time you can't be bothered to go down the gym because the traffic's busy and it's 2 miles away. Well, Jason Paulin had to walk 100 miles to get to his first competition. Now, out next, Jarek Dimmick. At the 1,009 mark, all he could manage was 0.5 of a meter. And Dimmick not having the kind of day he enjoyed back in Hawaii earlier on in the Super Series. Zydrunas Savickas has got this slight chest injury, and I think it's causing him some problems. He was talking about it in between events. Let's see how it affects his deadlifting ability here. Well, he can lift it, and he can move it. It's gone down. No, he's grabbing his chest again. Yeah, he's definitely tweaked some of his muscles, his upper pectoral muscles on the left-hand side. That's causing him problems. And he's not going to go again. He's going to stop there. So he falls out at the 1,009 kilo mark. We've seen Karlsen and Jason Paulin get through. So now it's down to Hugo Girard. This is a great chance for him to put points between him and Pudzianowski. Pudzianowski falling out at the 959 kilo mark, and that's really going to cost him on points. It's going to cost him big time. This could be the event, the discipline that will win Hugo Girard this Grand Prix in Canada. He needs to get a good result with this weight. Can he get it all the way? Well, that's his one attempt. He's dropped it once. He's allowed to pick it up one more time. This crowd willing him. He collects his thoughts. He's not rushing at all. He knows from experience you cannot rush this kind of thing. Slowly, slowly, he needs to finish to get ahead of the other guys. Another meter all the way. He's done it. He's done it easily. He goes through to the next round. 1,077 kilos will go on to the machine. But not before Magnus Samuelsson gets his attempt.
Up next, Magnus Samuelsson.
Now Samuelsson dropped the Farmer's Walks weights and claimed he had bicep problems. You'd have thought this is a very similar event. Look at this. He's driving it all over the place. He's going a little to the right, a little to the left, and Doug Edmonds is saying that he dragged it along the ground. He's got to put it at least half a meter over that line. Yep, he's done that easily. Goodness me, he's gone 2 meters over the line. Hey, how about that? Doug Edmonds is what he's saying. So he goes to the next weight.
Magnus, you made that look easier than anyone else, but you're pulling out. Why?
This it feels pretty good, but saying that it puts big strain on my biceps, and I can start to feel the pain coming back now. So I think it's best for safety just to leave it like it is and heal up a little bit more next time we do the whole distance.
He is, of course, a former IFSA Super Series world champion. He won the first season back in 2001. 1,077 kilos goes onto the machine. They've run out of weight, so the rules have changed. There is no distance. It's a one lift. Who can go the farthest? Here we go with Svend Karlsen first up. How far can he go? Oh, he goes down about the 5-meter mark, I think. 495. And that's put the pressure on the Canadians. Hugo, Girard, and Jessen Paulin. Well, that's just so funny, isn't it? That the organizers didn't have enough weight for these guys. That's typical of Strongman. Never count on what these guys can do. They always up their game. They really do extraordinary things. Come on, Jessen Paulin. Shining on the world stage for the first time here. He's going to win the event against all the best guys in the world. 6 meters 92, Jessen Paulin. Well, that has laid down the gauntlet to Hugo Girard.
Jessen, that's fantastic. On home soil as well. How does it feel?
Feels great. Feels great. I was aiming at the fence right there, but my head went down a bit, so I just went at that yellow line. But still, I think it's still good enough.
Well, it's good enough to beat Svend. Congratulations.
All right, yes! Canadian power! Canadian beef!
Ladies and gentlemen, 6.92 meters is the new distance to beat. 6.92.
Hugo Girard, the final competitor in the competition in this discipline. Girard knows what he's up against. That always helps. 6 meters 92 to beat. The first 3 events, 3 disciplines, he won. The stones, he struggled a bit, couldn't quite win it, came second, then third in the truck pull. Can this be the win? If he does win it, surely the Grand Prix is going to be his. Well, it's going to be close, 5.82, so that's a second place. He's gone ahead of Karlsen, that's for sure. And on points, it's a whole lot more than Pudzianowski got for this discipline, so he's going to go further into the lead overall. The maximum 12 went to Jessen, and congratulations to him. The first time he's really shone on the world stage. There's been a lot of talk about the myth, and finally, he's proven himself. Ontario, North Bay, the site of the 3rd IFSA Super Series Grand Prix of the year 2003, and Hugo Girard rushing off into a 14-point lead. 2 disciplines left in the competition. Next up, it's the car squat. Final event, of course, the medley. Well, it really is beautiful country here, and it's been a mixed day. Sunshine at the start, rain in the middle, but the weather's coming back round, and the car squat will be kicked off by the first of the Canadian athletes, Jeff Dolan. Now, he knocked out 10 repetitions, which is pretty impressive, with 300 kilograms, 660 pounds. Next out came Bergmanis. No belt for Bergmanis, no knee wraps, just raw squatting. Very narrow feet, right up high on his back with the bar as well, and if you understand your powerlifting, you'll appreciate how much tougher that is. Pudzianowski, all he could do was 1 repetition, and he can't understand quite why he's so bad, and that's going to cost him again on points, which puts Hugo, if he can get more than 1 rep, further into the lead. Jarek Dimmick, he beats his compatriot. He manages 2 repetitions. Now, former IPF silver medalist in powerlifting, Zydrunas Savickas, has to be the favorite for this event. The bar of wood is whipped out from underneath. You can see the depth they're going to is just about parallel with their legs. You see the way he's just trying to use the suspension of the car to get a little bounce on the way back up. That helps. These strongmen have competed all over the world on all kinds of bits of apparatus, and they learn the little tricks. 11 repetitions. This is going to put him easily into the lead. This is some wild power he's demonstrating. 13 reps. Is he good for 14? Goodness me, he's fired out like a bullet there. You can see the pressure. That's a 160-kilo man squeezed. Absolutely squeezed out there.
Let's see, Zydrunas, is he okay?
But that's put him into the lead comfortably.
There we go, he's happy.
Thumbs up from the big man. Anders Johansson, another former powerlifter, so you'd expect him to do well. Deadlift is really his discipline, but squatting, one of the 3 powerlifting disciplines, of course, so something he should be fairly accomplished at. Oh, you can see the face already in some pain. He's not using the suspension the same way that Savickas did. He's timing it a little wrong there. He's getting a second wave of pressure as he comes up about 6 inches from the parallel. 8 repetitions, I tell you what, he looked in as much pain in the first rep as he does for the 8th, but that's it. We say goodbye to Anders Johansson. A valiant effort.
Now Magnus Samuelsson has decided to pass on the squat.
And Magnus Samuelsson, as the MC on site has just shouted out, has decided not to go for it. Samuelsson wanting to save himself. He's already seen injury keep him away from the first 2 Super Series events in Hawaii and Holland. So his Super Series points are going to be very low at the end of this season. Look at Svend Karlsen, he's going absolutely mad here. Well, he really is something else, Svend. Sometimes you think he's down and out with an injury, and he turns around and slaps you in the face. He is the Viking, and he's full of venom at the moment. He's saying, let's have the heaviest event and I'll win it, no problem. He's done enough, 14 reps.
Svend, 14 repetitions. Do you think Hugo can do the same?
Maybe. Yeah, he will. He's fat and fit, so you have a chance.
Thanks.
Hugo Girard, world champ.
Fat and fit. Girard and Svend, they got a great relationship. Svend calling him the fat donut eating cop. I tell you what, Sven's about the only man in the world who can get away with saying that to him. I sure as heck wouldn't say it to him anyway. Here we go, Girard, 2 reps. He'll want to do well here. It'll take the pressure off him in the final event. He's got a 14-point lead overall. And already he's beaten Pudzianowski, who's only done 1 rep in the car lift. So this will extend his lead over the pole.
Let's hear it, folks.
Talking about Svend Karlsen, if he can get himself in some shape, you know he'll be back strong for the Arnold Classic, which is of course a part of the IFSA Super Series this year as the grand final. He's finished 2nd there twice now, and you know Svend will be in shape for that. It's all about big, static, heavy movements, and Sven's one of the best at them. It'll be interesting to see him against Savickas. Last year they were 1st and 2nd, and now it's a part of the Super Series. And I'm certainly excited about that final event. Oh, Jason Paulin. He goes down. Such glory in the last event when he was screaming Canadian power to such anguish now. No reps at all. And that shows you got to be an all-rounder in strongman. Jason is going to have to go away and work on that squat. You must be like the likes of Svend Karlsen, Pudzianowski, Girard. You've got to be good at everything if you want to become the world champion. That takes us on to the final event then here in Ontario, on to the medley. Now this is quite a hodgepodge of different events, and it's going to be very taxing. The guys have been given 2 minutes on the clock in which to complete this. Magnus didn't need that at all. He ran very fast. It was a tire flip, followed by a super yoke, followed by a chain pull, followed by a duck walk up the power stairs. You'll see exactly what I mean in a minute, and you'll see that 1 minute and 8 from Magnus was a pretty outstanding time. As Svend Karlsen comes out, and he goes head to head with Mariusz Pudzianowski. So the tire, 380 kilograms. No one in the world is better than Svend Karlsen at tire flipping. He's so fast at this. Curse of the commentator, they call it. You say someone's the best in the world, and then Mariusz goes and beats him. Here we go, super yoke. Mariusz rushing into the lead now, and Sven's little hamstring injury could be causing him some problems. I'll tell you what, it'll hurt him badly in this chain pull. Can Mariusz be the first man then to beat the minute barrier? Rushing to this 250 kilo weight. 5 steps to get it up. We're coming up to the 50-second mark. I think he's going to beat the minute anyway. It's going to be close. Can he get it up that final step? Yes, he has. 56.9 seconds. And Svend Karlsen, who was catching him up the power stairs, he goes ahead of Bergmanis, 102.59 seconds. The final pairing, Hugo Girard on the right against Zydrunas Savickas of Lithuania. These two guys are leading in this Grand Prix event in Canada. But Savickas, that torn chest muscle, he can't even flip a tire. It's over for him. The dream finishes right there. 9 meters with that 360 kilo super yoke. Looks like nothing as well. Girard chasing that time of Pudzianowski. Wouldn't it be great if he finished on another victory in this discipline? He certainly won this Grand Prix in Canada, that's without a doubt. This is nothing more than a victory parade now. He could stop now and he'd easily have won. Look at this, he's showing off to the crowd. He wants to give them their money's worth. They've paid, they've come from all over Canada to see him. He's given them a world record in the log press, and he's giving them a fine finish in the medley. What's the time? 1 minute 1.31. Not quite as fast as Pudzianowski, but hey, the pressure was hardly on, was it? He'd already done all of the other work in the first 5 disciplines. Well, Hugo Girard roared on by 7,000 strong crowd. And it's such a shame he missed that Holland Grand Prix, the second event in the Super Series, because he's won this.
Congratulations, Hugo. You're still the man on the strongman scene, and you're still unbeaten on Canadian soil.
Like I said, hasn't been done yet. I'm sure won't let them do it, so they're gonna have to earn it, and it's not today. It's gonna happen.
Hey, you gonna be over in Finland for the next Super Series?
Yes, I'll be there. You know, I'm very confident. I had a great showing here. Those guys are strong. You know, they really push me. I'm very happy with the shape I am in now, but there's still improvement to make.
As for this crowd, it's just incredible here in Canada. They backed you 100%.
You know what? It's been the result of many years, you know. Definitely, it's helped pushing me harder, having them supporting me that way. And what is great about it too, you support everybody, which is very good.
Thank you very much, Hugo. Thanks. Congratulations once again.
Thank you. Yeah, done it. Number 1.
He's just hit form at the right time. And over one day, it's hard to think he can be beaten in any events anywhere in the world right now. He really is outstanding. He's the #1. He is the world champion from last year. It's going to be hard for him to regain that title, regain that crown with Pudzianowski. 2 firsts from the first 2 Grand Prix, and now a second for Pudzianowski. Girard, he takes his first Grand Prix of the year. If you've enjoyed this, log on to www.super-series.com for all of the info and stats. You can enjoy all of the photos. And of course, you can go to the links of the athletes and go to their homepages and get in touch with them. And of course, write to me, Colin@super-series.com for any questions or abuse you want to throw at me.
Hugo in the middle, Mariusz on the left.
That's it from here in North Bay, Canada. This weekend has been all about the mighty Canadian Hugo Girard. He's still unbeaten on home soil. But Polish power Mariusz Pudzianowski still leads the IFSA Super Series World Championship 2003. So join us next time in Finland.